If you prefer a data-based buying guide, then you are in the right place. Welcome to our channel. We are techies, not salesmen. No flashy words or biased opinions. We made this list based on the big data collected from customers, manufacturers, as well as our data providers. Thanks to our exclusive unsupervised learning AI system, analyzing and comparing all these products couldn't be more accurate or efficient. We list the best buy products and their competitive advantages. This list includes options for every type of consumer. If you want more information and the updated prices on the products mentioned, be sure to check the links in the description below and feel free to subscribe. Okay, now let's start our list.
Introducing Porter Cable's new 20-volt max lithium-ion circular saw, the PCC660B. This tool is part of the new growing line of linked system high-performance tools. This tool has a 6.5-inch carbide tooth blade, delivers cutting capacity for all 2-by and sheathing materials. The high-performance motor delivers 4,000 revolutions per minute for smooth, fast cuts. An air channel blows air across a line of cut-cleaning debris for accurate cutting. This tool also features a shoe that pivots up to 50 degrees for specialty beveled cuts. Compact size that makes it easy to maneuver across cutting applications and comfortable over-mold grips to reduce vibration and user fatigue. 20-volt max 1.5 amp-hour or 4.0 amp-hour lithium-ion batteries are compatible with the tool. Both the compact and the max pack batteries deliver the power and runtime needed for the job. The 20-volt max circular saw combines compact size, performance, visibility, easy adjustments, ease of use, and value demanded on the job site. As part of the new line of Porter Cable 20-volt max linked system tools, it delivers the power you need at the price you want. Get linked with the power and performance of 20-volt max.
Introducing the Milwaukee M18 cordless 6.5-inch circular saw. This versatile tool features a powerful 3,500 RPM motor that cuts through a wide variety of tough materials. The M18 XC high-capacity red lithium battery provides up to 20% more runtime, and rugged magnesium upper and lower guards protect the blade from impacts and deliver maximum durability. The M18 cordless circular saw features an easy-to-read, lightweight, aircraft aluminum shoe for accurate cuts. It offers a compact, lightweight design with a soft grip handle for portability and user comfort. This tool is compatible with the Red Lithium Compact or XC high-capacity battery for increased productivity. And a battery fuel gauge monitors charge. For lightweight power with rugged durability, choose the Milwaukee M18 6.5-inch cordless circular saw, powered by Red Lithium.
Tasks in and around your home are different. But with one powerful interchangeable battery system, you can tackle them your way. With the right tool and plenty of power at hand. Use the interchangeable battery system for convenience and savings. Whether it's a labor of love, your pursuit of perfection, or just something to get done so the fun can begin. One system, endless tasks. With the BLACK+DECKER 20-volt max system, you have power for your style.
Hi, I'm Bill Link, and this is a SKIL circular saw. This is the modern version of the tool that started it all for SKIL tools. They invented this, they perfected it, they built an entire company around this tool. Appropriately, a lot of your projects will begin with this tool as well, and there are very few things you'll build that this won't play a role. So I want to take a few minutes and show you how to get the best results with your circular saw. Cutting rough lumber like this 2x4 to length is a common use for a circular saw. It's something you're going to do a lot of. And this could just as easily be a 2x6 or a 2x8. The process is the same. So I just want to show you real quickly how to get real good, clean, accurate, straight cuts when you're doing this. It starts with setting up the saw for the proper depth of cut, which is really pretty simple to do. There's a lever on the back that releases the shoe, and there's no real mystery where exactly you need to set the saw because the depth gauge back here is marked for standard board thicknesses. So we're going to cut a 2x4. I'll just adjust that indicator to the 2x4 position and lock the saw down, and it's ready to go. All right, now I want to make a mark on my board here real quick. Just measure from one end to the length that I want. Make a tick mark there, and then I'll use my speed square to draw that line straight across. Now you could get pretty close just aligning the saw. This one has a laser indicator on it, so you could line up the laser on that line and just cut straight across it. But I want to show you how the speed square can help you make sure that you stay perfectly straight and get a nice accurate cut. So let me get the saw plugged in and I'll show you that. And what I want to do is actually use my speed square as a cutting guide. So I'll just place it on the board right there. I'm going to get my saw pretty close to position, and by just pushing the locking button up here, it turns on that laser indicator. In between those two lasers is exactly where I'm going to cut. So I'll just slide my speed square up there and line the saw up, rest it against that speed square, and that becomes my cutting guide. My pencil line's right in between my two lasers. This is going to hold the shoe straight. All I have to do now is cut through that board. So that's a pretty typical cut. I just cut that 2x4 to length. Now that's a square cut. I also want to show you that the same thing works with a bevel cut. So I'll just slide the board in a little bit. Now to make a bevel cut, I need to adjust the angle of the shoe. There's a knob right there. You loosen that, and there's degree marks right here on the shoe. Just line that up. I'm going to say 30 degrees. And then one more time, I can use the speed square as a cutting guide. And it's the same process. I align the saw using the laser lines. I've got this as my cutting guide. And when everything's lined up, so that's a beveled edge. It's angled through the thickness of the board. I'm also going to show you how to make a miter cut, again, using this, but I need to move to the end of the table to do that. The cut channel doesn't go quite wide enough to do that, so I just want to move this down. More than just cutting rough lumber to length, your circular saw is also a valuable tool anytime you're working with sheet goods like this melamine shelf or this oak plywood. And I've got a couple things I want to show you to help you get real good results when you're doing that. The first thing I want to talk about is the blade. The blade that comes with your circular saw is probably 18 or 24 teeth. And that's great for making quick, rough cuts in lumber like you just saw. But when you're working with plywood or melamine, you've got a fragile surface, you want good clean cuts, then you want to go to a blade that has quite a few more teeth. I'm going to change this one for a 60 tooth blade. So I'll just change this blade out real quick. Okay, so now I've got a good plywood cutting blade in there. The next thing I want to talk about is an edge guide, a cutting guide. Just like when you cut a 2x4, you want something to make sure that that saw is going to run in a perfectly straight line. And that little speed square I used earlier isn't going to be anywhere near large enough for these sheet goods. And there are a couple of choices that you can buy off the shelves of Lowe's and other stores. I like those. I use them from time to time. But what I really prefer is this edge guide that I just made myself in the shop. It's really very simple. It's just a strip of plywood that I've glued to this piece of hardboard. And I'm actually going to trim this section so that this piece is exactly the same distance as from the edge of the shoe to the edge of the blade. That way, I can just lay this edge of the cutting guide right on my cut line, and I know that's exactly where my blade is going to run. So let me trim this up, and then I'll actually use it on one of these pieces to show you exactly how it works. All right, my homemade edge guide is ready to go. I just trimmed up this section, so the distance between this plywood fence and the edge of the hardboard is exactly the same distance between the edge of the shoe and the edge of the blade. So all I have to do is lay this edge on the cut line, and that's exactly where I'll make the cut. Now I've got this piece of plywood that's ready to cut, and I want to point out a couple things about cutting plywood. One of the problems you run into is you've got a thin veneer on plywood like this oak. And what you wind up with is one good face that has the oak veneer on it, and then one face that just has inexpensive trash plywood like Luan plywood on there. Well, what you want to do is protect that good face so that you don't get a bunch of tear out. It's a very thin piece of veneer. A couple ways that you can do that. You see the tape line that I've put on here. What I did was just wrap that whole area in tape and then marked my cut line on the tape. But another important thing you can do is when you're ready to cut the board, set it so that the good face is down, and that allows the blades to cut up into the piece instead of cutting through the veneer on top and lifting it off the board. So I've got the good face down, I've got this line taped. Now all I need to do is clamp my edge guide on there, and I'll be ready to make a good clean cut. All right, so here's the edge I just cut. I've turned it over so you can see the good face. This is the oak veneer. You see you almost have no tear out along this edge. That's thanks to the tape and making sure that the good face is down. Now, I want to show you how to make a cut in melamine that has two good faces. Cutting a melamine shelf like this one is a lot like cutting veneered plywood like the oak. It becomes a little more difficult because you've got two faces that you want to protect. And the truth is, these surfaces are even a little more fragile than the veneer. They're very brittle, they chip very easily. So we're going to do everything we did on the plywood. We're going to tape the line. There's really no good face to put down, but we're going to go one extra step here. I've marked where I want to make the cut, and now I'm going to use a utility knife and this straight edge, and I'll actually score the cut line. Place that right on there. This is just a drywall T-square. Real handy for doing things like this. Score that once, twice, a few times until you get all the way through that surface, and then I'll just turn the board over. I've marked the cut line at exactly the same spot, and I'll score this side as well. All right. Now I can just tape over that cut line. I'll mark where the cut line is going to be, and then I'll use my straight edge, make that cut. We should have a good clean edge on that. You know, a lot of people think of a circular saw as being just a rough cutting tool for framing lumber and decking and that type of thing. And it certainly excels in those roles. But I hope I've shown you that with a little care and some extra preparation, this can actually be a very accurate, fine cutting tool. Well, that's it for this time. I'm Bill Link.
For the professional contractor looking for the latest in battery-powered saw technology and innovation, DEWALT is proud to present the 20V Max lithium-ion reciprocating saw featuring a 4-position blade clamp and the 6½ inch circular saw. The 20V Max line will be offered in addition to DEWALT's 18V system and provide professional contractors with performance, ergonomics, and innovative features users expect from DEWALT. The 20V Max lithium-ion reciprocating saw delivers performance worthy of the DEWALT name, with a 1 1/8 inch stroke length that works up to 3,000 strokes per minute. The 3.0 amp-hour lithium-ion battery gives the user up to 73% more cuts per charge when compared to the leading 18-volt lithium-ion reciprocating saws on the market. Plumbers, electricians, framers, carpenters, and remodelers will benefit from the DEWALT 20-volt max reciprocating saw's versatile 4-position keyless blade clamp, which gives the user optimal versatility when making flush cuts or cutting in tight spaces. The contoured rubber overmolded comfort grip gives the users control for a variety of cutting applications. The 20-volt max lithium-ion circular saw offers fast cutting performance due to a motor that delivers 460 max watts out at 3,700 RPM. The lightweight magnesium shoe provides the optimal combination of durability for long-term accuracy and lightweight to help keep contractors running strong. The optimized rubber overmolded comfort grip gives the 8-pound circular saw the desired balance and control for the remodeler, carpenter, or framer making cross, rip, plunge, or bevel cuts. Regardless of the application, DEWALT 20-volt max saws provide the performance, ergonomics, and features needed to get the job done. DEWALT 20-volt max lithium-ion, maximum performance.